Hey guys, welcome back to Firm 400. Today we're diving headfirst into the rabbit hole of all rabbit holes. Here's the top 10 Mandela effects: automotive, Hollywood, and history unveiled. It's creepy, it's confusing, and it makes you question absolutely everything you thought you knew. Get ready because we're talking about the Mandela effect. So, what exactly is the Mandela effect? Imagine vividly remembering something so clear in your mind, only to find out that it never actually happened. That's the Mandela effect in a nutshell. People all over the world share these bizarre, almost identical memories that just don't line up with reality. Theories range from alternate dimensions colliding to glitches in the matrix. Are we shifting between different timelines? Is someone or something messing with our very existence? Whatever it is, it's messing with my head, and I know I'm not alone in this. Let's face it, we all want to believe our memories are true, but what if they're not? Okay guys, buckle up because this first one is a doozy. We're starting with one of the most famous examples of the Mandela effect, the Berenstain Bears. Now, I remember those colorful books from my childhood. I can practically smell the pages, feel the rough texture of the cover. But there's one tiny detail that's got everyone freaking out. Remember how I just spelled it Berenstain with an E? Well, guess what? It's actually Berenstain Bears. With an A. I know, right? Mind blown. When I first saw it spelled with an A, I literally thought it was a joke. I even went to my bookshelf to dig out my old books, convinced there was no way I had it wrong. But sure enough, there it was. Clear as day. Berenstain. I felt like I was in the Twilight Zone. How could so many people remember it differently? Was it a misprint on all those books we read as kids? Did someone sneak into our houses and swap out the E for an A? This one's a classic for a reason, guys. It's just so simple, so universal. It makes you wonder what else we could be misremembering. Trust me, it gets even weirder from here. Next up, we're heading into the world of Pokemon with everyone's favorite electric rodent, Pikachu. Now, I grew up with Pokemon, spent countless hours glued to the TV watching Ash and Pikachu on their adventures. I can still hum the theme song, and I know all the words, even the words in the Japanese version. But there's one thing about Pikachu that's got everyone scratching their heads. Remember that black tip on the end of his tail? Yeah, about that. It never existed. I know, it's insane. I can picture it so clearly, that little black lightning bolt shape. It just made sense, right? Black tip on the tail, yellow everywhere else. It's like someone took an eraser and just wiped it clean from existence. Some people even remember drawing it in themselves, adding that extra detail to their Pikachu masterpieces. So, what's the deal? Did our childhood memories just decide to play a cruel trick on us? Or is there something more going on here? This one really makes you question the nature of memory itself. Okay, let's get serious for a second and talk history. We're diving into one of the most iconic speeches in American history, Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg Address. It's short, it's powerful, and it's etched into the memories of every American who's ever sat through a history class. Or is it? Here's the thing. A lot of people remember the Gettysburg Address being much longer than it actually is, like way longer. They remember entire paragraphs that just don't exist. I'm talking about vivid memories of Lincoln delivering this epic, soul-stirring speech that would have made even the most jaded politician weep. But when you actually look at the official transcripts, it's like a quarter of the length they remember. It's almost as if someone took a pair of scissors to history and just snipped out a huge chunk of it. Maybe it's the weight of the speech, the gravity of the situation that makes it seem longer in our minds. Or maybe, just maybe, we're tapping into a different version of history, one where Lincoln really let loose on that battlefield. Either way, it's enough to make you want to dust off your history books and double-check everything you thought you knew. All right, gearheads, this one's for you. We're talking about the Chevrolet logo, that iconic bow tie emblem that's graced millions of cars over the years. Seems pretty straightforward, right? Well, not so fast. The Mandela effect has struck again, and this time, it's messing with our automotive memories. People have all sorts of different memories of that logo. Some remember it being solid gold, others swear it was always white with a gold outline. Some even recall a distinct gap between the top and bottom halves of the bow tie, while others insist it's always been one continuous shape. It's like everyone's driving a different version of a Chevy in their memories. I mean, we're talking about a logo that's plastered everywhere, from billboards to TV commercials to the hoods of our cars. You'd think we'd be able to remember it correctly, right? But the Mandela effect doesn't care about logic or brand recognition. It's out to prove that even the most familiar things can shift and change right before our eyes. Or maybe, just maybe, we were never really paying attention in the first place. Let's be honest, we all love to hate the Monopoly Man. He's rich, he's ruthless, and he never hesitates to charge you rent when you land on Boardwalk. But there's one thing about him that's causing a major stir in the Mandela effect community: his monocle. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I distinctly remember the Monopoly Man sporting a monocle. That single eyeglass perched on his face just screamed wealthy tycoon. It was practically part of his signature look, right up there with the top hat and the cane. But here's the kicker. The Monopoly Man has never worn a monocle. Not once in the history of the game has he ever had a single eyeglass perched on his face. It's like it vanished into thin air, taking our memories with it. Some people even claim to remember specific commercials or game pieces where he's clearly wearing a monocle. But alas, no such evidence exists. It's enough to make you want to dig out your old Monopoly board and double-check for yourself. But be warned, you might not like what you find. Next up, we're sailing into murky waters with the Statue of Liberty. This one's a real head-scratcher, guys. I'm talking about the actual location of the Statue of Liberty. Now, we all know Lady Liberty resides in New York City, right? Well, not so fast. Surprising number of people remember her being located somewhere else entirely: New Jersey. That's right. The iconic symbol of freedom and democracy, the beacon of hope for millions of immigrants, might not even be in the right state. People have vivid memories of visiting the Statue of Liberty and looking back at the New York City skyline. Some even recall driving over bridges or through tunnels to reach her. But according to official maps and records, she's always been standing tall on Liberty Island, which is technically part of New York Harbor. So what gives? Did a bunch of cartographers get together and decide to redraw the map? Or is this another case of the Mandela effect, messing with our sense of place and geography? Whatever the reason, it's enough to make you question everything you thought you knew about the layout of the world. Get ready to shift gears again, because we're diving back into the world of automobiles with the Volkswagen logo. This one's a bit more subtle than some of the others, but it's still got people scratching their heads and wondering if they've entered an alternate dimension. We're talking about the V and the W in the Volkswagen logo. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's just 2 letters. How much can they really mess with them? Well, prepare to be amazed, because the Mandela effect has struck again, and this time, it's all about the space between those 2 iconic letters. Some people remember the V and the W being completely separated, 2 distinct letters with a clear gap between them. Others swear they've always been connected, a seamless blend of metal and curves. I mean, we're talking about a logo that's been around for decades. A symbol of German engineering and automotive excellence. You'd think we'd have this one figured out by now, right? But the Mandela effect loves to keep us guessing, toying with our memories, and making us question everything we thought we knew about the world around us. Maybe it's time to start paying closer attention to the details, because you never know what might disappear or reappear next. May the Force be with you as we journey to a galaxy far, far away, where even the most iconic movie lines aren't safe from the Mandela effect. We're talking about Darth Vader's legendary reveal in Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, a line that's been quoted, misquoted, and parodied countless times over the years. You know the one where Darth Vader utters those immortal words, "Luke, I am your father." Except here's the thing. He never actually says that. I know. It's enough to make you question the very fabric of the space-time continuum. The actual line, spoken by James Earl Jones in his chilling Darth Vader voice, is, "No, I am your father." It's a small difference, but a significant one. So why do so many people remember it differently? Some theories suggest it's the power of suggestion, the way the line has been repeated and misquoted over the years that's warped our collective memory. Others believe it points to something far more intriguing, the possibility that we're glimpsing into alternate realities, parallel universes where the movies we know and love played out slightly differently. Prepare for liftoff as we explore one of the most controversial and debated Mandela effects of all time, the American flag on the moon. Now, we all remember that iconic image, Neil Armstrong taking those first steps. planting the American flag on the lunar surface, a symbol of human achievement and American ingenuity. But there's one small detail that's got conspiracy theorists and Mandela effect enthusiasts buzzing. The flag is waving, and not just a gentle flutter in the breeze, but a full-on, rippling wave, as if caught in a strong wind. The problem is there's no air on the moon, no atmosphere to speak of, which means there shouldn't be any wind to make the flag wave. So what's going on here? Did NASA stage the whole thing? Are we looking at a soundstage somewhere in Hollywood? Or is this another example of the Mandela effect messing with our memories, replacing the still, lifeless flag with a more visually appealing, albeit scientifically impossible waving banner? It's a question that continues to spark debate and mystery. Fasten your seatbelts because we're taking a final detour into the world of automobiles with the Ford logo. Now, the Ford logo is about as American as apple pie and baseball. It's simple, it's recognizable, and it's adorned millions of cars over the years. But even this iconic logo isn't immune to the Mandela effect. People have all sorts of different memories about the intricate details of the Ford logo, specifically the cursive F in Ford. Some remember a fancy, elaborate flourish at the end of the F, a loop-de-loop that seems to disappear and reappear depending on who you ask. Others recall a much simpler design, a straightforward F without any unnecessary embellishments. It's like we're looking at two completely different logos, both claiming to be the one true Ford emblem. So, which is it? Did Ford secretly redesign their logo at some point, only to revert back to the original without anyone noticing? Or is this just another example of the Mandela effect playing tricks on our minds, making us question everything we thought we knew about the world, even something as seemingly mundane as a car logo? So there you have it, guys. 10 of the most mind-boggling, reality-bending Mandela effects out there. Are we living in a simulated reality? Are we jumping between parallel universes without even realizing it? Or are our memories just playing tricks on us? Honestly, I don't have the answers, but what I do know is that the Mandela effect is one of the creepiest, most fascinating mysteries out there. It makes you question everything you thought you knew about the world and your place in it. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the unknown, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to Firm 400 for more mind-blown theories, unexplained phenomena, and creepy mysteries that'll keep you up at night. And be sure to let me know in the comments which Mandela effect freaked you out the most. Until next time, stay curious, stay confused, and keep an eye out for those reality glitches.
This video is brought to you by Davsky Air Fresheners, the industry's popular and favorite car air fresheners for enthusiasts. Exclusively available at Firm 400 Pop-Up and online at firm400.com. Be sure to check out Davsky online at davsky.com and preview their new air freshener products for 2024.